Hey everyone, we're here with another camera test for the Vivo X70 Pro. This time, obviously, in the daytime. It's much easier for the phone to take photos, but nonetheless, we'll be testing things like the HDR, the color modes, and Pro mode, which is really exciting. Actually found out something cool about it yesterday, which we'll check out. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. Let's see how we perform. So, got a nice sunset to use. Now, this is not a big challenging situation for the phone. This is a cakewalk for the phone. Let's try zooming in. That could look more dramatic and cinematic even. Wow. This is 2x. This is 2x zoom, and it's very clear that the HDR is doing its job. Finally, on to 5x. Now you can change the saturation of the image if you'd like. You can, yeah, but I'd prefer just normal color. Right, so it's crisp, it's sharp, and the sun looks a bit more colorful in the shot than the last one. It's not amazing, it's just a good looking shot of the sunset. Now let's try blurring the background. Wow. Now notice here that the background is blown out, meaning it's just really white here. Like you can't see the blueness in the sky. That's called being blown out. And HDR, this right here, HDR is supposed to fix that. So let's try with and without HDR. First, let's go without HDR. Now let's do it with HDR, and you'll see the difference HDR makes. This is with HDR. This is without HDR. Can you see the difference? The sky in this image is much more blown out, whereas the sky in this image is clear, and you can see the real color of the sky somewhat. The foreground is also super crisp, which I really like. Beautiful nature here. Anyway, wide angle because the phone recommends it. And if you look at the bottom right corner, this AI thing right here, that pinpoints what you're taking a photo of and adjusts the colors and white balance and all accordingly. You can disable it if you want. I like to have it on. So nice, beautiful ultra wide. This is a 12 megapixel image. Now on to 1x. Wow. You can see the blueness in the sky. I want you to compare this to this, and you can see the sky is a bit more saturated in this image, a little bit more clear. Now let's take a photo of the sky. Oh wow, wait, I just found the spider web in this tree right here. It's very hard to see with the phone, but I wish I could take a better photo of it. Now let's try a photo of these trees, because look at this, it's blacked out. You can't see the color of these trees properly. That's what HDR on the left side is going to fix. In this photo you should be able to discern the trees better. It's not the clearest, but you can still see the patches, the white patches on the trees. That's what HDR is meant to do, bring out the dark spots of your image. Yeah, look what it's done. It sort of increased the brightness so that you can see the white spots in the trees. And if you look at the image it takes, yes, you can see them. Now let's zoom like crazy. I'm going to zoom in like mad. Let's see. Right, all the way to 60x. This is handheld, so I'm really surprised at the stability. Wow, that's the sun. That is the sun. Let's zoom out a little bit. All right, ultra wide. So this phone has plenty of zoom for you to play around with, if you want that. But personally, after buying this phone, I find that I don't use the zoom as much as many people thought they would use the zoom when they buy the phone with zoom. This is a nice shot. Okay, note in this shot the colors are not as saturated as they look from the main sensor, and it's a little bit less sharp than I would like, but overall for an 8 megapixel photo it's acceptable. Now one thing I love about this phone is Pro mode. If you go to Pro mode, then you have access to all these controls, and one thing you can't do on the main lens is use the 2x telephoto to get a blurry background. This is using the 2x telephoto, and look at the blur on the background. This is something I literally discovered yesterday by accident. I was like, wow, we can do that. What I'm saying is, if you use the 1x lens, like without any zoom, you can get a nice blurry background. But if you want to zoom into something and remove that lens distortion, you have to suffer with less blur. At least I thought. But turns out if you go close enough, you can still get a nice blurry background with even a 2x telephoto lens, which is really nice. Let's just look at that photo. Wow. You know, this looks like something you would put on the web page of a nature related company. Yeah, and the 5x lens. The thing about Pro mode is that the phone does not switch between lenses automatically, even if you're really close to something. But if you go to normal camera mode, watch what happens here. If I go to normal camera mode and I put 5x, it switches lens. It switched the lens to the 2x lens. Now it's switched to a different lens. See, it's just switching lenses. But if I go to Pro mode, it will not switch a lens no matter what the conditions are. You have the power to switch a lens if you deem it necessary. This is something no one will tell you. You'll discover this as you go along. But in Pro mode, the dynamic range is not controlled. You have to do that yourself. That's why it's called Pro mode. It's meant to be the manual control version of the camera app. And it's a great thing to play around with, really. You have a lot of fine-tuning controls. You'll see that the phone also has 50 megapixel mode. 50 megapixel mode, the top right of these options. 50 megapixel mode, and you can capture a 50 megapixel image. This is best with much better lighting conditions, but let's go. Check it out. Right. It's not the best, but it's it's usable. Honestly, I don't see the need to use this mode that much, because the 12 megapixel photos it pumps out on their own are actually quite high resolution. Yeah, so let's try out the Zeiss camera mode. This basically changes the color of the image, as you all know. Zeiss natural color, and now we have normal color. It's sometimes hard to spot a difference, but you can change the saturation if you feel like it needs to be reduced or increased, as you can see here. Midpoint. Right. Anyways, I think that'll do it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed making it. Until then, click great photos. I'll see you in the next show. Bye.